1500 into 16 divided by 3. So this becomes 1,20,000, right? But we know that the total profits of H plus S is equal to how much? 1,50,000 plus 60,000. Right? Which is 2,10,000. Okay. So 2,10,000 is the combined profit. Now, how much is the minority profit out of profits of S Limited? Please note that the minority profit will arise only in case of S Limited because H Limited is not a subsidiary. So you don't need to put in the minority profits there. Minority is 1/3 of this or 25%. So 25% of 1,20,000 is 30,000. So the combined profit which has to come in the balance sheet is 1,80,000. Let us take and plunge this figure here. Maybe I can just put in a combined number here only rather than breaking it. So I can write this as profit revenue is equal to 1,80,000. Now I told you that every debit has an equal and opposite credit. Now what is debited here? What is removed from this balance sheet? I am removing two things from here, 1,50,000 plus 60,000. So 2,10,000 credit is being removed. And what I have put in here is only 1,80,000. So what do I do with the balance 30,000? If I don't take care of that balance 30,000 now, what will happen is that it will dislodge my balance sheet. So minority interest, revenue profit. How much is that? 30,000. So what I did was the split of 2,10,000, 150 plus 60 has been kind of accounted for over here, 180 plus 30. So again, my credit is complete. So this is gone, this is gone. Or maybe I can just use this marker to highlight what all adjustments are done. Right? Oh no. Right. Now, the other thing, I need to find out as to what are the profits earned prior to the acquisition. Okay. So what do I do? What are the profits earned prior to acquisition? 1 lakh and 1 lakh. Well, let's take a different page. So for H Limited, we saw earlier it will be 1 lakh plus 3/4 of S. And for S is equal to 1 lakh plus 1/4 of H. Right? Or wrong? Well, it is right. Let's find out S. 1 lakh plus 1 upon 4 into 1 lakh plus 3 upon 4 S. Again, same thing. 1 lakh plus 25,000 plus 1 into 3, 3 upon 16 S. This goes to the other side. So you get S minus 3S by 16, or this can be written as 16 upon 16 is equal to 13S upon 16 is equal to 1,25,000. If you solve this equation, you get 1,25,000 into 16 divided by 13, which will give you, please solve it at your end, this will give you 153,846. Okay. This is because of the rounding off. Some difference might come for our rupee or something that we will kind of take care of. Now let's say what is the minority interest out of it. Minority interest, please note, as I had said earlier also, the minority interest is available in case of S only. Because 3/4 of S is held by H, so 1/4 is the minority interest. 1/4 into 153,846. This will give you 38460. Okay. And what are the total capital profits of the combined entity? That is equal to H 1 lakh plus S 1 lakh minus minority interest, which is 38,460. Once I do this calculations, what do I get? I will get 161,540. Okay, but there is one more adjustment which is pending here. And what is that adjustment? Well, we all know that in all this situation, I also need to compute a devil called cost of capital or goodwill. Okay. Now, okay, let me just solve it out from here. Let's take this 38,460 capital 38,460 plus the equity share capital of the minority was how much? It was out of 4 lakh, it was 1 lakh. So I just add 1 lakh here. What do I get? I get 168,460 as the minority interest. Now just to ensure that I am completing this 4 lakh minus 1 lakh has already been done for the minority interest. Okay. These pre-acquisition profits I'm not touching right now, but out of this also minus 38,460 has gone for the minority interest. Okay, let's go to this new devil called the cost of capital or goodwill. Now, goodwill is basically what? It's what I have invested less what I received. So if you see, my investment was for 3,000 shares, 4 lakh rupees. Invested 4 lakh. What did I get? I get the share capital of 3 lakh. And I also got something else. What was that? Whatever was the profits which were earned by S Limited prior to acquisition. Whatever profits were earned by S Limited prior to acquisition, I also got a share out of it. Right? Right? But then that means that there is certain other aspect also which needs to be taken care of. And what is that? Well, put in the investment of H Limited, you put in the investment of S Limited, which is 2,40,000. So 6,40,000 is the total investment that these two companies made. Share capital of H was 3 lakh. For S, how much did you get? 2 lakh shares. 2,000 shares, sorry. So it becomes 2 lakh here. Okay. And you need to reduce the capital profits. Now, if you go back, what were the total capital profits? The total capital profits of S Limited were 153,846. Okay. Out of which 38,460 belongs to the minority. So what was the share of H Limited in the profits of capital profits of S Limited? This is basically 153,846 total capital profits of S Limited less minority interest. $38,460. As I do this subtraction, what do I get? So 5 lakh was here. Okay. 115,385. Let's keep this as 5 only for the sake of rounding. So 615,385 is what I received. So 24,615 is my goodwill. Please note, I am not reducing the capital profits of whom? Of H Limited. Why? I'll show you why. So profits revenue is done. Okay, profits capital. Okay, let me just write goodwill here because 24615. That's the amount of goodwill that I have. Okay. So from an H Limited's perspective, its own capital profits were 1 lakh. Let's see the computation of capital profits. It added what belonged to S Limited. Minority interest reduced. What less pre-acquisition? Pre-acquisition is the one which has been considered for the purpose of goodwill. And how much was that number? That number was 115,385. Once I do this, what I'm left is 46155. So this is the number of capital profit which has to come in the consolidated number. 46155. Let's see the last number which is left. Okay, let me do the cutting. So what happened was I took this 1 lakh. I took this 1 lakh. I reduced 38,460 from here. Okay. I adjusted this for goodwill. Out of this 4 lakh, 1 lakh went to minority and 3 lakh went in the goodwill calculation. Out of this 8 lakh also there was some adjustment which I did. What was that? Well, from my investments, I reduced 2 lakh of nominal value. So even when I put in my share capital here, which is 8 lakh, whatever is held by S Limited, I reduce it from here. Okay. Now we can do a sum of all this. Okay. Let me just choose an upper line. Similarly, I do this for here. So I got these two numbers as I did my total as 1184,615, 1184,615.